Yo guys, InsaneGamer52 here, and today I'm going to show you the fastest way to get kills in Black Ops 6 Zombies. So there is an event going on currently called King of the Dead, and in this event you need to get kills to be part of a leaderboard. But even after this event, this method will still be good to get kills towards your 1 million kill challenge for the Dark Ops, towards any future events that might be something like this. So feel free to use this for anything in the future as well, even after this event is, done and gone. So how this event works is you are getting points for killing zombies. So you get 1 point for killing a regular zombie if you look in the top left there. You get 25 points for killing an elite. 25 points for killing a special, 100 for killing an elite, and then each of the main quests is going to give you its own amount of points. So some of them take longer than others. They're just a little more difficult, right? Liberty Falls gives you 3,500. Terminus gives you 7,500. Citadel gives you 10,000. The Tomb gives you 6,000, and Shatterville gives you 9,000. So depending on, which Easter egg you complete, you get a different bonus on top of any kills you get during that match, which is awesome. And for completing, for getting a bunch of points, you get some different rewards if you look in the bottom left here. So for just getting 1,000 points, you get a power keg. 2,500 is a temporal gift. 4,500 is a killjoy, and 7,000 points is a nowhere but there. Those are guaranteed rewards that everyone can get, and I mean, they're really easy, and they're not great gums. It's three rares and an epic. Nowhere but there is actually pretty decent because for now, I don't know if it's supposed to. I don't think it's supposed to, but it does revive with perks, which is really cool. And then the second part of this event is there's a leaderboard. You are put on a leaderboard with 29 other people. So there are 30 total people on this leaderboard, and you are all competing to get gobblegums. So if you look on the right side of the screen, if you come in first place, you will get a near-death experience, and a perkaholic, and all the other rewards that are down below it. If you're top 3, you get a wonderbar. If you are top 5, you get a crate power and idolize. Top 10 is a wall power. Top 15 is a soda fountain and a who's keeping score. Top 20 is a free fire. Top 25 is shields up and stock option. And top 30 is cashback. So you will get a total of 12 gobblegums, 3 of each rarity, if you come in first place. And if you're below that, you'll still get a good amount. Now, if you look on my leaderboard, most of these people have not a lot of points, right? So they have 30 points. I mean, one of them has 0. So they haven't even logged on yet. 30, 33, 40, there's a lot of people who don't have a lot of points. I mean, we're getting up into a couple hundreds now, a couple thousand. So these people are going to be actually kind of competitive. 22,000, and then I have 40,000. So the way that I have been number 1 on this leaderboard is just by going for kills. So I have not been going for the main quests, and there's a reason for that. So if we bring up my spreadsheet right here, this was just a real quick little spreadsheet that I came up with. So for this spreadsheet, you can see I put, each of the maps and then each of the bonus points you would get for completing them. My estimated time for how long that would take me personally, and to be honest, I think I can complete these Easter eggs faster than a majority of people. So what I just went into my leaderboards in game, and I just, for Liberty Falls, I think my fastest quest completion was 18 minutes. So I said, we'll just average that to be a little higher, 20 minutes, right? Some might be quicker, some might not be. We're just going to say average, and it's a pretty optimistic average too, right? And so I did that for all of them. And so, and the points per minute are obviously how many points, how many points you're getting per minute. So how worth it is that time investment in the grand scheme of things for this leaderboard. And then I had a round 154 save on the Tomb, going for a high round from just something I was doing previously for a little bit of research. And I just continued that. So I continued that from round 154 to I think I'm on round 203 now. And that took me 73 minutes. And in that 73 minutes, I got 40,000 points. So take that, and you get 550 points per minute, which is over double any of these. And even if you say oh, okay, so I run the Terminus one, because in my opinion, I think Terminus would be the easiest of these to do for just the amount of points that you would get. Let's say that you end up killing, 5 elites, you kill 20 special zombies. That's an extra 1,000 points right there. So you're at 8,500, and then we'll say you kill 1,000 regular zombies, right? So we're gonna say you're at 9,500 points, and that takes you 30 minutes, right? You are still just over 300 points per minute, which is nowhere near the 550, right? So even if, and let's say that you're an absolute demon and you can do that in 25 minutes, right? Now you're at 380. So it's still not even close, right? And that is a really, really good run, right? You would have to be 15 minutes? That would be, all right, that would be crazy. Doing Terminus in 20 minutes, you're still not even there, right? Overall, the high round run is going to be absolutely best. Yes, you'll take a little bit of time to get set up, and you won't be getting as many kills at that point. But then once you can just continue it, you are going to be getting a crazy amount of points, and that's only going to go up. I have updated this 3 times, actually. Previously, it was 10,000 points for 22, which was 489 points per minute. And before that was 1,900 for 4 minutes, which is just a couple rounds for 475. So, it has just continued to go up from 475 to 489 to now 550 points, which is just absolutely absurd. And I think it's only going to go up from there because the rounds are just going to be longer. There's going to be less downtime in between rounds, and you're just going to continue getting more points. So overall, high rounds are going to be the way to do this. So let me show you the best way to do high rounds in this game. All right, so for the loadout for this high round, there are a couple things that are important. You can really run any weapon you want. We're only going to be using that in the early rounds to get the ice staff, and then once we have the ice staff, that's pretty much all we're using from then on. For your field upgrade, you do want energy mine. I will go over the augments for everything in a second. Tactical, I mean, you can bring in a decoy. Lethal, you can bring in a Molotov to get the free perk. Gobblegums don't really matter. I haven't used a single gobblegum. For the important augments, on Quick Revive, you absolutely want Dying Wish. That is going to save your butt if you get into trouble. On Juggernog, I find it really useful to have reactive armor and hardened plates, but you can totally run probiotic if you're more comfortable with that, or even durable plates if you're more comfortable with that as well. All of those will be just fine for this strategy. On Speed Cola, you absolutely want Classic Formula. Your field upgrade will be recharging so quickly, you will never have to worry about supercharge, and it's much better to just reload a lot quicker. On Voltrade, you want Parting Gift because we're going to be using the Ice Staff on the Tomb, and you are going to want to be able to get that extra ammo. I think you get 7 or 9 ammo instead of like 2. It is very, very useful. On Elemental Pop, you want Vulnerability to increase the enemy elemental weakness damage because we are using Energy Mine, which counts as electric damage, which is indeed super effective against amalgams. So this will just make it do even more damage, which is awesome. And finally, on Energy Mine, you want Turret and extra charge, and that is very important that you run those two. That is the bread and butter of this strategy, so those are two that you absolutely have to run. All right, so we are on the Tomb. This is going to be the fastest high round strategy. I do activate the Rampage Booster for the first 5 rounds just to help speed things up in the beginning. So for now, we're just getting kills, cranking through the rounds, and trying to get to round 8, where the first Mimic will spawn to give us the Monocle so that we can start building the Ice Staff. All right, once we get into the Dark Aether, we are going to go for the free Pack-a-Punch Easter eggs. We're going to be shooting these rocks real quick. All right, one last rock. There we go. We got ourselves a free Pack-a-Punch and Cryo Freeze. And since we have Cryo Freeze, we can actually go shoot these waterfalls real quick. I don't care about saving this tool for later. All right, we're going to head over to the Neolithic Catacombs, and now we need to move the lantern to the correct position. So how this works, for anyone who doesn't know, there are 4 lanterns in this and over by Deadshot that you need to move to the correct spot. So it'll go from that spot over there in that doorway. Then it goes here next, and then it'll go up top next to the mural over here, which is where we need it to end. So you just keep hitting this lantern as many times as it takes to get it there. And I recommend saving either 1 zombie or 3 zombies so they're all walking. And now you're going to go over here and shoot these in the order of Roman numerals. So the diagonal lines are, 1s, and the V's are 5s, just like regular Roman numerals. So we're just going to be shooting these in order 1 through 10. It is worth noting that you cannot use an explosive weapon for this, so you do need a bullet weapon, so I would not bring in the GS-45s. And now you just go through 5 little waves of zombies that are going to continue spawning around this area, and you just need to kill them. And there we go. We finished it. We can go ahead and grab our head to the Staff of Ice and head over to Death Perception. All right, we are in Death Perception. We need to move the lanterns over here, and again, there's 4 locations. There's 1 in this doorway, 1 in the doorway above there, 1 over here to the right, and we need to move it eventually to the one over here to the left in front of that mural. And it is worth noting, it is very important, do not open that door that leads over to Stamina. We want to keep both doors to Stamina closed for that high round strategy, and it's going to be very important for just keeping things fast and also a little easier. So don't open this door to the top of Stamina or the other door going from Quick Revive to Stamina. Keep both of those closed. All right, and it spawned in the correct location, so we're going to shoot these in the order of 1 through 7 and go through 5 more waves of zombies. All right, and there we go. There is the staff to the Staff of Ice, and we can go head to the Dark Aether to go build it. So we're going to go head to the Dark Aether and go place the staff right here in the middle right here. And now we're going to protect it. And there's a secret to this. So we can go place 2 energy mines right here because we have our turret augment, and we can go run all the way down by this red door, and the zombies, the regular zombies, will go for us, and then the zombies that that you need to kill to actually charge up the Staff of Ice will go for the staff. And those 2 energy mines can kill all the zombies going for the staff, and you will just have to worry about these zombies down here. All right, there we go. It is completed. We can go up here and grab our Staff of Ice, and we're going to go head through the red portal. All right, and if you ever do go down, if it wouldn't rain, there is a way to get a free self-revive, so you don't even have to craft one. So there are, I think, 9 of these vases all around the map, and you just shoot each of them, and you will get a free self-revive. So the first one is right here in spawn. The second one is just above the door heading to Deadshot. The third one is above the blue portal in spawn. There's one in the Death Perception room just above the doorway, to the side of the doorway. There's another one outside the map by this box location near Deadshot. Going towards Speed Cola, there is another one above this doorway right here. Heading into the place where you open up the portals, there's one just above the red portal right there, and another one above the giant crevice in the ceiling. Going down to Quick Revive, there is another one next to this pillar over here. And then heading through the yellow portal to the Stamina Up room, there is one up here. There you go. That will give you a free self-revive for everyone in the game and a free Lightman for everyone in the game. In case you were playing co-op, it would give you 4 and 4, which is really nice. All right, so heading back to the room that has Quick Revive in it, there will be 6 possible lantern locations. There's one right there, one on that pillar, one on this pillar, one on that wall, which is actually a little difficult. If you get one there, I would just shoot it to move it to a different location. And then there's 2 downstairs, one on that pillar right there by the armor, and one right across from it. So whichever pillar it's on, go up towards Speed Cola and go as far away as you can to shoot it, right? So if it's down there, you know, if you can just shoot it from inside this doorway, great. I have one that's actually the closest, so if you want the best chance, you can just take this one right here. You're going to shoot it. You're going to shoot this one right here, which will be somewhere in that room. Could be right there as well. You're going to go up over to where you did the first mural, and you're going to shoot that one, which will guaranteed be right there, and you'll get this voice line. Now you need to head to the Dark Ether, and there are going to be symbols on the rocks above you. So there are 8 symbols, 10 symbols total. It's some even number of symbols, so you need to go shoot them with your ice staff. So right there is what I call pizza. Right here is what I call hook. And finally, we have arrow or anchor. And now one of the doors will have closed. So you see that red portal is no longer red. So it is closed up. You need to go through one of the other portals and go shoot the symbols. If you do end up getting the one at Stamina Up, which is the yellow portal, you can open it from the top. Don't open it from the bottom. And it shouldn't affect the spawns very much, if at all. Or if you really wanted, you could reset the game until that's not your portal. But opening the top door should just be fine. Now we're going to go shoot those symbols. So I had pizza, I had hook, and I had arrow. And you will know you did it correctly if those 3 symbols are on the ground. So we're going to go through that portal real quick. And if you did it right, you will land on this rock platform. If you did it wrong, you actually land like 4 feet forward and fall down to the ground. So just when you land up here, you know, hit interact with that orb. If you don't land up here, just double check that you had the correct symbols. Some of them could look kind of similar. So you're just going to have to flip around and go shoot them again and make sure you shoot the correct one. So now all we have to do is stay near this orb, and that's it. You actually don't have to get any kills. You can use like Idolize and Aether Shroud and stuff to like get through this with 0 kills, and it will actually complete. It looks like, you know, there's souls going towards the orb. They actually don't matter. So all that matters is you and everyone in your game if you're playing co-op. Stay near that orb, and that's it. Obviously, get kills to survive. And, you know, if you want a little bit of points, you can get kills as well. I do recommend getting most of the kills with the ice staff because you're about to upgrade it, which means you're going to get full ammo on it. And there we go. Once you have finished escorting it all around the Dark Ether, you can go ahead and interact with this shining pink light, and it will upgrade your ice staff to the Earl's Arrow. Now, go grab any perks you want and head to the yellow portal. So for the rest of the game, we're going to spend pretty much every round in here. The fastest strategy is going to be shooting your ice staff right below the statue, kind of at that corner right there, like right where I'm pointing. And you are going to be standing right over here next to this pillar. So you are just going to be standing here for like pretty much the entire game. The ice staff, if you charge up the shots, will be able to kill all the regular zombies that are spawning around. There are some that are spawned right here, some behind the wall, and the spawn back there. And then as they walk across the room, they'll die to your ice staff as well. And in the higher rounds, your ice staff is only going to be doing 5,000 damage out of like 100,000 damage or more that the special zombies are going to have health-wise. So to take care of them, that's why we brought in the energy mines. So you're going to use your energy mines right here. Try and just have them, like, if you line your staff up with like that pillar, just make sure they're basically a little bit to the right of that, and you should be fine. It is a bug round, so for the bug rounds, there's a torch right here to the right of Stamina Up. Just shoot your staff at the top of the torch, and you can see I'm getting some damage numbers behind the wall. I'm getting some damage numbers up top. There are only 2 spawn points for the bugs in this map, and shooting at the torch can cover both of them at the same time. So there we go. We got a free max ammo, and it was a really quick, easy round. So there is our first amalgam. He is getting slowed by the ice staff and also getting smacked by those energy mines, which is awesome. So overall, it took us a little under 30 minutes to get into this spot, which is great. That's not a bad setup, and now we can just spend the entire rest of however long you want just going for a high round and getting as many kills as you want. And since these rounds are so easy, we're actually going to go turn Rampage Nooser on just to make them be a little bit quicker. So there we go. The spawns are going to be a little quicker now, which is great. And for those of you who don't know, the fastest way to shoot the ice staff is to do a shot and then double weapon swap. So that little twirl I just did with the weapon is a lot faster than if I just let it just sit there to reload. It's a lot faster to get your next shot ready, just in case, you know, you needed to shoot it a little earlier. You know, if you messed up, you shot a non-charge shot instead of a charge shot. You know, it just helps you get a little quicker. We don't really need to worry about power-ups because this ice staff is just going to handle pretty much everything. If you did want to do anything, it would be an insta-kill to help with the specials and elite zombies later on. But for now, that is not an issue. Just make sure that you are throwing your energy mines whenever you can. And you want to shoot them whenever you are in between shots of the ice staff, right? So I only have 3 ammo now. I'm about to do a shot. I would not want to use my energy mine now because I want to reload so that I can get the next shot going. So you want to shoot that shot and then use it when you either have 6 ammo or in between the 6 and the 3. So right now I could use it as well. So those are the 2 times that you would want to use your energy mine, just so that you can keep the consistency of always having a charged ice shot on the ground so that you can, you know, reload in between shots and not have to worry about the energy mine, and just use the energy mine in between 2 shots of the ice staff without reloading. Make sure to stay armored up. We will be getting golden armor later on, but for now, just make sure you stay armored. Thankfully, you can actually armor while charging up the ice staff. There just won't be a little animation for it, which is really nice. In between rounds, you can absolutely feel free to go grab any armor on the ground or ammo. And you can also feel free to kill these shock mimics. So if you just kill the, if you just shoot the ice staff regularly, it does a lot of damage to those specials and elites. And it'll help in these leaderboard events because you get 25 points for any special that you kill, which includes, you know, the mimics that are on the ground like that. So if you want a little extra points towards these leaderboard events, you can feel free to kill those mimics that are going to be on the ground in between rounds. So in these early rounds, you really just want to make sure that you have at least 1 energy mine out. In the late rounds, you want to make sure you have all 3 out. You can only have a maximum of 3 at a time. If you try and put a 4th one, it will just remove whatever the first one you put down is, which is totally fine in the high rounds, just that you always have 3. All right, it is round 30, so I'm going to actually leave a little early so that I don't kill every zombie. We kind of leave a zombie to not finish the round off. So Wonderfizz spawned on round 25, so we can absolutely go and grab all of our perks. We have tons of money. Let's go grab all of those real quick. And then we're going to go head to spawn to turn off Rampage Inducer because we are going to be doing one last little thing to do the setup. So if you go back to the Dark Ether, there are 2 boxes that we need to go melee. So the first one is right here next to Jug. Just melee that 3 times. And the last one is right here on the other side of Wonderfizz. Go ahead and melee that 3 times and pick up the head. And what we want to do is go craft a mutant injection. So thankfully there is a crafting table also right across from the Wonderfizz. And heading back to spawn, we're going to go place those 2 heads on the statues right here. So there is the first one. And the second one is down over by Flopper. Now, what this lets us do is we can activate a blood sacrifice to get us the golden armor. And what we want to do for that is we are going to use our mutant injection. And then as we're using it, we're going to go start that blood sacrifice so that we can use the mutant injection inside of it. And all you want to do is just melee all these shock mimics that spawn. The mutant injection above round 30 should be able to handle this. So how score streak damage works is it actually scales with the round. So the higher round it is, the more damage the score streaks are going to do. So doing this above round 30 just gives you enough leeway that, you know, you should be able to absolutely kill all of these guys with no problem at all. So there we go. All 3 of them are dead, and I still have half of it left. So honestly, you could probably do this on like round 25 when you go grab Wonderfizz. But, you know, if you just wanted to wait, you can. And since we're not using our salvage to upgrade our gun, you should absolutely have at least 5,000 salvage to craft 2 mutant injections and be fine for this. And we're going to throw a decoy, go craft a second mutant injection, head back to the top of spawn and go use it right next to this one and start our blood sacrifice. And now up here, we have a bunch of doppelgas that we need to kill. Same thing. Mutant melees will be just fine, and you should absolutely kill all these guys with no trouble. I actually got an insta-kill to make this even easier. And bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. There you go. Both the statues have their blood sacrifices complete, and they are going to spawn us the golden armor. So golden armor, what it does is, first off, it's free. It costs 0. It gives you a free 3 plate if you didn't already have one. I only had a 2. And what it's going to do is anytime you aren't hit for a couple of seconds, it's going to start automatically regenerating your ammo. So here, I'm going to get hit real quick. I lost a full armor plate and a bit, and then we're just going to run around for a second and not get hit. And as you can see, the armor is slowly regenerating. So it's basically about as long as it takes you to start regenerating your health. You'll just also start regenerating your armor, which is incredibly useful for this strategy. Now that we have all that, we're going to go craft one last mutant injection just to keep in our back pocket in case things do go wrong in the strategy, and go turn Rampage Inducer back on. If you ever do get in trouble, I would recommend crafting a monkey bomb. They are going to be the most useful because for some reason, monkey bombs are the only thing that does not get disrupted by the shock mimics. If you use a Casimir or a decoy, they will get disrupted by the shock mimics and get destroyed and just not work. So it is going to be useful to have a monkey bomb just in case things go wrong and, you know, you have to go to that crafting table to grab a self-revive or grab another mutant injection or something. So now we're just going to keep using our ice staff and putting down our energy mines, and we're just going to crank for as high around as we want to go. If you ever do get in trouble, you get grabbed by an amalgam or mimic, which shouldn't happen very often, or, you know, your charge shot doesn't go off, feel free to just use that back pocket mutant injection right off the bat. Just no hesitation. Just feel free to use it. It is not that big of an issue to, you know, you're going to be getting so much salvage because you're not using it for anything. And then right before the end of the round, you can, save one zombie, leave the mutant injection so that you can go buy another one in peace, in between rounds. This is also where, you could throw your monkey bomb to distract everything while you are going to craft this. And there we go. Now we're ready, just in case we make another mistake later on. Even with golden armor, sometimes you will get hit a lot, and it is still useful to, keep an eye on your armor and make sure that you do armor up if you get below, 2 plates, or definitely if you get below, 1 full plate. It is very useful to still armor up, because golden armor, it only works so frequently, right? So if you're continuously getting hit, it's not going to have time to regenerate, and you will have to, manually armor up to avoid going down. It is worth noting that with the Rampage Inducer on, there is very little time between rounds, so make sure you get that charge shot going immediately so that you don't get, overrun as you're starting to build the charge up for the next round. It is very important to do that at the beginning of the round, especially with the Rampage Inducer on. The Rampage does turn off on round 55, so after that, you definitely have a lot more time to, go kill some of the mimics around, go, maybe place an extra energy mine, or go grab armor off the ground, or whatever you need to do. But with the Rampage Inducer on, they spawn immediately, so make sure you're on your toes. And if you did want to save and quit, make sure you have 2 charges of your energy mine on you, because when you come in, you will not have any energy mines on the ground at all. So it is very important to have those energy mines all ready so that, when you continue your game, you can just use them right off the bat and be able to kill all your elites and special zombies very easily. I actually already have a save file going, so I don't have the save and quit available right now. All you can see is leave match because I didn't want to disrupt my round 200 save and quit. So I am going to go leave the match now. That is everything you need to know about the strategy. So let me show you how it goes on the higher rounds. All right, so we just loaded up. I'm going to immediately place both of my energy mines. Stop my ice staff, and I should have probably just done one of them, so we don't get into a zesty situation like that. Oh, no. I'm going to be honest. That's the first time that's happened. All right, so we have to self-revive. We have to play this round very, very safe. So we're going to use our mutant injection in a second. Actually, we got an insta-kill. We're going to use that. So getting the ice staff going is the most important thing. You can place 1 energy mine if you want, but get your ice staff going immediately after that so you don't repeat what I just did. If I didn't get this insta-kill, I would just be using a mutant injection for this entire round. And thankfully, because I bought Jug as one of my first perks, Jug and Speed Cola and Quick Revive, we are good. I'm just going to use a mutant real quick. Things are getting a little zesty, although I think it is the end of the round. Yeah, that was the last 2 zombies of the round. That is so unfortunate. Since you are getting so many special and elite kills just regularly with your ice staff and your energy mines, very often there will be a mutant injection on the ground that you can hopefully try and grab for free without having to go to the crafting table. So there we go. Sometimes it could be a little difficult, but you should usually have one. If all else fails, just end your mutant injection right next to the crafting table to craft your mutant injection really, really quickly, and you should be fine. All right, it's looking like that is the end of the round, so let's go really quickly try and save a zombie and go get our perks back. All right, there we go. So mistakes can happen. I am not, a world record holder. I can do pretty well, but, things can always go wrong in these high round strategies, so just always be prepared for the worst. And in between rounds, feel free to go shoot the 2 mimics that can be right next to you. The one can be over there by the crafting table, and the other one can be right here, which I already shot. So they will just be, any regular item. Just shoot them with your single shots of the ice staff. It does a lot more damage than the charge shot to individual enemies. And that'll just help you, get a couple extra special kills. There were 25 extra points for this King of the Dead event, so that's, 50 points a round. You go 100 rounds, that is 5,000 extra points. Why not take it? So as you can see on my minimap, there are a ton of special zombies coming at me. It's just a train of mimics and doppelgas, and the energy mines are taking care of them. So that is why you need to make sure that you keep your energy mines up to date and keep 3 of them if you can at all times. So it just cleared that entire horde, and actually we only got down to 2. Having at least 2, preferably 3, is very essential. And then also just slowing them down as they come around that corner so that the energy mines have even more time to hit them before they get to you is the bread and butter of this strategy. That is why this strategy works and why you usually take not very many hits as long as you can keep those things up. I'm actually going to be taking place in a charity event on Black Ops 6 Zombies. So if you guys want to, feel free to, support the World Wildlife Fund and have some nice entertainment. Feel free to tune into that on July 19th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a really fun event with some interesting challenges, so I think you guys should stop by and, maybe donate if you want, but you don't have to. Even just spreading the word and, just watching the event is going to be all the support we ask for. If you guys ever want help with anything zombies, I stream with viewers multiple times a week and have an active Discord community who are always helping each other out. If you found this video helpful, let me know by dropping a thumbs up. and feel free to subscribe for more in-depth guides and entertaining content in the future.